Hey there, my name is Andre Charland. I'm the co-founder and CEO here at Nitobi. We have just released our second quarter release of Complete UI, which is our Ajax toolset. So what we have here is our grid component, which Dave and Jake and James and the guys have been working on pretty hard because it's our most popular component still after all these years. So some of the things, the big thing was performance. So stuff like grid resizing, like I'm doing here with the mouse. Or even programmatically happen a lot faster than they used to, which is really good because it improves user experience. The other big thing that's will be noticeably faster for you is our live scrolling. So live scrolling works that as you scroll the mouse, this is using local data that's just sitting on the page, but as you scroll the mouse, it requests back to the server or the page of the data source for the next chunk of data that it needs. So if we see in this one, this is getting data from the server, and you can see there's only a momentary delay. These are just the samples. We'll be adding a little loading icon here later, but this is really lets the user feel like all the data is sitting there locally on their machine. And so it doesn't matter how big your data set is. People often ask how much data can the grid work with, and this lets you go through an unlimited number of records, like they're local. So that's pretty cool. The other component we've added is our a calendar component, which will integrate just with a regular form, or it'll work in our grid. So the calendar is just a date picker. You can see here it's pretty basic, as most calendars are, but it's just really snappy, and this can get data from the server. So the one big thing about this is, you can integrate this in grid. So a lot of times you're picking dates and then updating them. So if I just click a date here, adds it to my text field, that helps for validation and whatnot. One of our other new components is Spotlight, which has kind of been inspired a little bit by our callout component. And what a Spotlight will do is allow you to walk a user through a web application, much like you'd walk them through with a screencast, like I'm doing right now. The difference is this is all Ajax, HTML, and JavaScript, and it interacts right with the web page, so it's not going to a Flash movie or some other type of movie. It's right on top of the web page. So I could actually still just jump out of this at any time and start interacting with the web page. So you can see these little bubbles. One thing you'll notice here is that was actually scrolling the page too. So it doesn't matter what size the resolution the user screen is on, they'll view it as they're viewing the site. So there's no change for them. Let's take a look at one more Spotlight demo before we wrap this up. This one's cool. You'll see it's a picture sharing website, which you might recognize. So I can just click here. So you can activate this, from a button on your page. Give me the tour, and boom, right on in line. You can see we have a nice little slight alpha transparency there. So we can actually script the mouse in there. It'll jump over. We can watch these little bubbles. You can see that the mouse actually, our scripted mouse and the scripted Spotlight actually interact with some of the Ajax stuff on the page. We can even script typing, so into text fields and whatnot, you can show the user how to do that. And you can see here, these are actual text fields, like even my mouse turns into the cursor when I go in there. So it's right on top of the web page. You're not jumping to another file format. One thing you'll notice here, well, I'll show it in a second. I gotta find a better demo. So again, yeah, form field typing. So this is a great way if you have a new type of web application or web form and you're really trying to just walk the user through how it all works, without the need for another file format. And it'll also let them interact with the page directly, exactly right after the web tour is done. So one of the things we're trying to, use JavaScript here for is to really recreate that kind of cinematic experience, but just using Ajax, and we can take control of the cursor, illustrate a cursor, and typing right in the page. Another use you might use this for is the tax form demo we've set up here. So this is actually showing the user, because a lot of these complex forms, we can show them how to use it. We won't go through the whole thing. So we just kind of grab the screen, and then we jump back into. We can focus on certain parts of it, explain to them what this part of the form is doing, and then kind of jump through. We can move the mouse around, just highlight the fields that they'll be typing at that time. We could actually let the user do this as they're going through the form. Great. I don't think we'll go through the rest of this form because you guys probably got the idea, but thanks for checking this out, and be sure to download Complete UI at nitobi.com. Thank you very much.